is a first series ever in history, in the world, of this particular style, this particular art, style of this art and practice, which really is just bringing in more of the feminine kind of energy.
You're asking yourself, why flow, right? Well, there are so many benefits to flow. I probably couldn't even tell you guys all the benefits in this single class. So I'm just going to touch base on a few of them that are really interesting to me. Heart. So the heart actually sends more signals to the brain than the other way around. And developing this coherence not only facilitates better brain function, but it allows us to build resiliency, reduce stress and anxiety, tap into our intuition, and align with our soul. And I just want to remind you all the importance of play every day. All it takes is 5 minutes twice a day. The research has proven it, in the morning and at night. That's it. Just some kind of play, especially during these times. It's just so important for stress reduction and our overall well-being. And just take some time to sit and focus on your breathing. Take some time to sit and just, even if it's 5 minutes, just to have a meditation for yourself and try to bring in that brain-heart coherence, right? When they're syncing together, when we're bringing in that gratitude and that appreciation. And just remind yourself of that mantra every single day when you look at yourself in the mirror, that you are whole and complete. You are your perfect being of light. And just remind yourself of that every single day. So thank you so much.
All right.
And Elizabeth Satoris, you're going to be in this one. And so I made sure that I have this book. So everyone who's here, this is Dr. Elizabeth Satoris, and she is a very special guest inside of our class, and she's a special luminary inside of this program, this neurosomatic flow program. One of the assignments, major assignments that all of our students have is to read this book, Gaia's Dance. And if you've never heard of this, go ahead and write this down. This is Dr. Elizabeth Satoris's book, and it will transform and enlighten the way that you look at the world, this planet, and what we are going through right now currently with the pandemic and everything, every crisis will give you such a powerful, powerful perspective. We're so happy to have you here for Rasham's class.
Jinju?
Yes.
I just want to say thank you to those of you who read the book and sent your comments in to Dr. Jinju. I'm so grateful for that. It really made my day to get a list of those.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate
So
it.
the first neurosomatic class is being presented ever into the world.
And for those who are on, I think we have a lot of friends from Jakarta. Selamat datang, kami tinggal di Bali. Sekarang berapa lama 3 tahun di Bali. So, suksama or makasih untuk datang di kelas di Risham. Makasih ya.
Yay! And just a little background here about and extraordinary souls inside of this program. And those of you who do know her, you know that she's a dancer. Those of you who don't, she's a professional dancer. She's been dancing her whole life. She is in Jakarta. She's teaching live from Jakarta. Her background is actually from India and Pakistan, which I find just so fascinating. I love background stories of where people are from. And so she's trained in many disciplines.
Dr. Elizabeth Satoris, and all of you as well for being here and supporting me and being with me, you know, holding my hand through this exam. This is practical. So before we begin, and I share my screen, just one word, how's everyone feeling today? Like, just write in the chat box, like, how are you feeling today? Just one word. Are you tired? You're happy? You're energized? You're excited? You feel, you know, you have brain fog, whatever. Just write in the chat box how you're feeling, so I know where everyone is at. And I see a lot of people, especially like teenagers, right, needing to conform and impress and compare themselves constantly to others. And we do this too. I've lived most of my life doing that. I still, have trouble with authenticity even today. But there's a certain point in life where we feel like, okay, enough is enough. Okay, and I want things to be different. I want more meaning. And this was my personal journey, and my personal journey was with flow, with meditation, with dance, with spirituality, and just being able to combine all of these things into one. That's something that I truly, truly wish to share. And that's something I hope to do in this 1 hour class. Obviously 1 hour is not enough, but that's all we have for today. Now, let's do it with the poi. So, forward in our yang current. And on 3, we're gonna cross. 1, 2, 3, and cross it. Yeah, so good. And relax. Now, when I want to do it again, we're gonna do it again, but this time I want you to say your affirmation. So when you're doing this move, whenever you cross, I want you to say that affirmation. Whether it's I'm enough, or I'm a beacon of joy, or I radiate love and light, whatever it is, I want you to say it out loud. Ready? So, swinging it, moving forward. And 1, 2, 3. I am enough. And keep doing it. I am enough. I am enough. Keep dancing. I want to watch you now. Yes. Play. Show me the infinity signs. Where are those infinities?
You'll be dropping into your body, shaking things up, and hopefully learning a thing or two in the process. This class will be a safe container to express yourself, take up space, and tap into the truth of your soul through the medicine of flow. We are so blessed to have you, Laurel, inside of this journey, and it is my absolute honor to present to you Laurel Holly. I trust and I know that you all are going to have a wonderful, magical experience. Enjoy your class, and I'm going to pass the torch over to Laurel. Thank you so much for being here,
Jinju
everyone.
and Nova for birthing this amazing program and all of their support throughout this journey, and all the other fellow trainees who are here as well. You guys have been doing great on your own classes, and I'm excited to continue seeing them as well. But dropping in, neurosomatic flow. Yeah, I didn't know what that meant at first, and still wrapping my mind around the concept because there's so many components to it. But it's really about the body and connecting with the body and utilizing our movement to tap into the flow state. And what is the flow state? So we're going to do a little bit more now.
Noticed that the more I did the poi, the more I started to notice things unlocking in my brain. Certain new pathways were starting to get formed, and I was starting to notice my life like flowing. Literally, I was noticing more synchronicities. I was noticing more just weird moments of really connecting into a certain energy that I would find only in nature. Like I would find it if I was sitting near a stream, and I would notice like, okay, I can really kind of entrain myself to the stream or be in the flow of the movement of the seasons. But I didn't really start feeling that until I started doing flow arts myself. And as I started to explore the movement in my body, I really started to see that connection between nature, between the macro and all of the things that we're starting to weave together. We're literally weaving together, and my life since then has actually been magical. Like, I can't even say it any other way. It's been amazing. And I really attribute a lot of that to unlocking the medicine of flow in my own life. And so, there is a good teacher of mine and Jinju's named Nick. And Nick always says that before you learn anything, actually, wait a second. Nick, do you want to say this?
The thing you do when you're just learning poi?
Yeah, the thing. Come in.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa.
Wow!
What does Nick have to say?
So you're starting your journey with poi, and practice makes persistent. You will learn all these great things, but you're never going to be able to go back to today. You're never going to be able to be like a baby who hasn't learned language, where you can look at the world without language. It's kind of like that with poi. So you're going to take one poi, and we're going to put on track?
Yeah. So Nick's not hijacking my class, by the way. He just happens to be staying with me. So I figured I would get straight from the horse's mouth. So what Nick is saying is we're going to play before we learn anything. So the most important thing is that we experience this. If you've never done poi before, it's really important to do it without any preconceptions of what it should look like. So we're going to just start with one poi, and we're going to hold it either loop grip or pinch grip.
But the butterfly, like, you know, we all know it for its beautiful wings, but they can't see their wings, and they don't have to, because they know they're beautiful. Like, butterflies just are confident and just are like making the world beautiful, and just like, it's just really inspiring to me. So I just want us to like have that idea of the butterfly in our hearts as we're flowing today. And with that,
I had wanted to learn about the movement patterns of poi because I was working with kids with special needs, and I was doing brain-based research, and I came across a study where they were using poi to enhance kids' reading and writing scores. So I thought, man, that's great. You know, another thing to have in my bag of tricks. You know, you meet a kid and you're just like, I don't know what to do, and you're like, oh, I got this poi thing and we can do it. And then I tried to learn it, and I was like, oh, I got to figure this out. What it became as my intention for learning was to help the children that I was working with, and it really came back to serve me in such a huge way and teach me so much about my own body awareness, and just get me into my body. Because the beautiful thing about poi is that it gives you immediate feedback about your body. Because if you're not getting a move and you're swinging around, you're going to hit yourself. Back up to center. How's that going for you? Okay, so now we're going to come back down, and we're going to find a little more flow with this pattern. Feeling as you wind and unwind in one direction, opening, expanding, and then contracting, and being okay with the contraction, because that's a part of the spiral.
There's something beautiful and mysterious when it comes to dancing with poi. They call it the dance of the cosmos. When I dance with fire, I become the fire. My heart radiates like the flame. I am inspired to share the medicine of flow through teaching because I know from my personal experience that it can transform your body, heart, and mind through the practice of it. My body has healed to become stronger, more self-aware, and graceful. I have learned from dancing with poi that the energy I share through my body moves out into the world around me, and if activated through a kind and compassionate heart, it has the potential to transform and spread joy. So one thing that makes a hummingbird unique is that it literally has a little flick in its wing. So when it hovers, it does a little flick at the bottom of its wings. And maybe there's something you might want to leave. And maybe you want to flick it away if you have some sort of limiting idea or thought that isn't helpful. Now would be a good time to just flick it away.
A definition of neurosomatic flow, which is the course I have been taking for the last several months. It is neurosomatic flow is a somatic, which means of the body, healing modality that weaves flow arts such as hoops and poi, dance, and yoga for the purpose of cultivating balance, not just like stand on your foot balance, like your whole being balance, possibility, joy through brain, nervous system, and body repatterning, which repatterning is something that, what does that mean? Basically what that is trying to say is, say you have a long-standing belief of, I'm not good enough. That's a pretty common one with a lot of people. And it's something that gets stuck in your body. And through the process of neurosomatic flow, using tools, the hoop props or flow props, along with learning a new movement, what that does is it creates new connections in your brain through the physicality of it, in addition to breaking up, say, you were thinking you were not worthy. So when you start learning a new move, you start telling yourself, I am good enough. I am good enough. And as you learn the move through the process of messing up and trying and practicing and finally embodying that movement into you, if you're doing it with the affirmations at the same time, that creates new neural pathways and it breaks down those old patterns of belief and replaces them with the new ones. So that's why this has been such a big thing for me to become involved with, because I'm very interested in this in the form of healing trauma, because a lot of people that have gone through trauma don't feel safe. So in addition to the healing of this, I also want to entertain the idea that this is safety as well. So being inside a hoop is a safe place. Also, the symbolism of a circle is wholeness and completeness. So that's why my class is Whole Hoop Health. Because so you put your hand face down, you see that? And grab it. So one of them that was bringing it down was palm up, and then you grab it, and it comes back down and around, and then you're back to pinky, thumb.
At Hawaii Yoga Institute, where we did our training, they really are the only yoga institute that I know of in the world that considers flow and flow arts with the poi and the hula hoop. They consider that, and they really show how it's a form, ultimately, it's a form of yoga, truly. And so inside of neurosomatic flow, you will feel that. If it feels a bit like all of a sudden you're like, oh, I kind of feel like I'm in a yoga class. Well, great. That's definitely one of the purposes. Maya Kai is currently in Japan. She is a teacher of many things. She's a teacher of yoga. She's a teacher of hula dance. She's a teacher of English. She teaches at the schools there. And
if for those of you who don't know, I mean, it's such a deep word. A lot of people think it as a greeting, but actually this word is spelled with the R, aloha. It's in the Maori language as well. To love, to feel compassion. They say aloha nui. And to empathize. In Sanskrit, it has a meaning of growth, increasing, rising, that kind of a feeling. And also in Japan, it reminds me of this thing. They have these festivals like for lifelong learning. It's about lifelong learning. Last time back in the north, Just one last inhale up and bring our hearts to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Just checking in again with your breath. You can see it, this even our breath. Just take a moment, close your eyes and think about our breath. It's also like a spiral. When we breathe in, the information from our lungs, the sensory nodes on our lungs, sends the energy through our vagus. It's called the vagus nerve. It's this nerve. You can open your eyes. It's a very important nerve. So I'm going to tie in some science really quick before we get moving and dancing. So this, can you see it here? I couldn't. Take a look. It's really interesting. Science is really starting to put more attention into this field, but it's really a strong relation to what we are learning about the heart and brain coherence, and everything is just in harmony. So yeah, this important nerve, like I just said, the mind-body connection, and it stems from the Latin word for wandering. It originates from the brainstem and extends down into multiple organs, including the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the liver, the stomach, even your kidneys. And you know, you say trust your gut. It's actually literally you say trust your vagus nerve. So and having fun. That's the most important thing. And then now we are going to bring in our special partner. If you have.
Bringing me back into the loop that my higher self is good. I just feeling that we are here for healing. Every moment you feeling that I love is the medicine, and I got this feeling that we are here for healing.
But thank you again. Mahalo.
We love you.
So
Thank you all so much.
If you're watching this on video, this was the last of the Saraswati Shala Neurosmetic Flow teacher classes.
There will never be another series like this. There's only ever one inaugural.
The first one.
This is it. This is the last one.
This is the last one.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah, mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations to all of our teachers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Stay on, Maya.
Okay.
Thank you, Courtney,
Have a wonderful
Catherine,
rest of your
Risham.
week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.